Fantasy anime set in the world of a VR MMO has become a common thing over the past decade with the success of Sword Art Online. Say what you want about the show and its inconsistent quality and myriad of problems, but one fact that can't be denied is that the show's popularity was the catalyst for the plethora of similar shows that came after. Sword Art Online obviously wasn't the first show with its premise, but it provided a simple template that we've seen copied with varying degrees of success. Every new season usually has a few fantasy anime for fans of the genre to watch, and most nowadays are either isekai or feature a fantasy world set inside of a video game. Bofuri, I Don't Want to Get Hurt So I'll Max Out My Defense is the latest series to follow the popular fake VR MMO fantasy trend. However, I believe Bofuri is something truly special in comparison to its contemporaries. It's not just a comedy or parody, nor is the focus strictly on its action or adventure story. Yumi-kan, the author of the original novel series Bofuri is based on, has created a video game slice-of-life series. It's such a genius idea that perhaps others have attempted, but I've never seen one of these fantasy VR game shows combine elements from multiple genres in the way that Yumi-kan has. It is apparent from the first episode that Yumi-kan is actually knowledgeable about how typical RPGs and MMOs work, unlike Reki Kawahara, the author of Sword Art Online. Bofuri's video game world might not be as rich as those found in other fantasy animes such as Re:Zero, Grimgar, No Game No Life, or Cautious Hero, but the places explored throughout the first season were still interesting, and the mechanics of the game allow for the main character, Kaade Hondo, to stumble onto a build that exploits the game's systems in various ways. Unlike Sword Art Online, Dot Hack, Grimgar, and Re:Zero, this show has a very lighthearted tone, and its characters and story are not nearly as complex. However, the show's simplicity and more relaxed story makes it easy to digest and approachable for new viewers. The plot is very basic. Kaade's friend Risa urges her to try out a new VR MMO game called New World Online. When Kaade creates her character, she decides to use a shield and dump all her stat points into Vitality since she hates getting hurt. Unlike her friend Risa, Kaade isn't a hardcore gamer, so she plays the game in unconventional ways while stumbling onto some very powerful combinations as she unlocks skills. One of the joys of watching this series comes from looking at Kaade play the game in the weirdest way possible. This show never ceases to be entertaining thanks to the humor and spectacle that arises from Kaade learning new skills. New World Online rewards players based on the way that they play the game. The idea that the developers accounted for every playstyle, including one as strange as Kaade's, is a bit hard to believe. Much like Sword Art Online, this would be a very expensive game to recreate in real life due to that fact alone. Nevertheless, seeing the game reward Kaade for manipulating its system is great, especially during the first few episodes when she's just getting used to the game. Watching Kaade's character Mabel grow more OP as she basically stumbles her way through the game is an entertaining gimmick by itself, but I did fear early on that it could get old really quick. Thankfully, this wasn't the case at all, and Yumi-kan kept things interesting each week by introducing new characters and in-game events for Maple and her friends to tackle. As I stated earlier, the characters aren't deep, and to be honest, the character design isn't anything special aside from the clothing, armor, and weapon designs. However, I really like the characters introduced this season. Kaade's close friend Risa, the Flame Emperor's Guildmaster Mi, and Kazumi were the ones that really stood out aside from Kaade, of course. Risa is very loyal and protective of Kaade, and while playing as her character Sally, she can be very ruthless and cunning. Risa's athletic, quick reflexes and skills as a gamer makes it hard for players to hit her even without the use of skills. It's very entertaining to watch her tackle the game's bosses and fight other players, especially when she fights against those on her skill level. Mii's character reminds me of Urza from Fairy Tail in terms of her charismatic personality and strength. I liked how that confidence that she normally displays as a leader tends to go away whenever she makes mistakes. Kaade and Risa meet Kazumi during the second event. I like Kazumi's personality. She is calm, clever, and acts a bit more mature than Kaade and Risa. Kuromu is basically the show's Klein, but not useless and way better. He and the crafter are very supportive of Kade throughout the season. At the very least, I can say that they are good supporting characters. The weakest characters among Kade's friends are Mei and Yui. These two sisters maxed out their strength, but are the lowest level among Kade's friends. I didn't really care too much for their personalities, and they didn't stand out enough among the other members of the group. Bofuri makes excellent use of its time throughout its 12-episode season, showcasing exciting boss battles and PvP fights, side quests, world exploration, and of course its big events. I can't stress enough just how good some of the fights are in this series. The animation done by Studio Silverlink is fluid, and the fights here are way better than those that they produced for Wise Man's Grandchild. I love just how authentic Yumi-kan has made the boss fights in this game. For instance, one early boss had a weak point that had to be exploited, while another boss changed its form and did a powerful attack after sustaining a lot of damage. The same level of authenticity can be found in a side quest that Kade takes on later in the season, but I won't go into details on that because I don't want to ruin it, as it will likely get some laughs from anyone who's played an RPG before. The PvP fights featuring New World Online's strongest players like me, Pain, Drag, and Frederica were great, especially during the last few episodes of the season. The different events that Kade and her friends participate in were mostly entertaining to watch, but the fourth and final event for the season was hands down the best part of the season. The fourth event was basically a big guild war where the objective is to steal other guilds' orbs while protecting your own orb. I like that we got to see Kade and Risa struggle a bit, and that the rest of her friends got a chance to shine and work together. Before I render my final verdict, I want to speak briefly on the show's soundtrack. The main opening and ending themes and the sequences in general match the feeling of the show perfectly. During montages, the song Good Night plays, and it sounds similar to something you would hear from a Persona game. That song is really good, as well as another song that plays on occasion that I unfortunately couldn't find any info on. This song in particular sounds a little like Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. I don't know if they ripped that off. Normally I would take some time to speak on the show's voice acting, but there really isn't much to say in this case. I watched the series in English and in Japanese. I thought both were solid efforts. Overall, Bofuri is a fantastic genre mix that I can see being a gateway anime to the fantasy game subgenre, in much the same way Dragon Ball Z and Naruto is for shonen anime. Season 2 was announced on the same day that the final episode was released, so I'm looking forward to see just how much more OP Kade can get. I highly recommend watching the show if you're a fan of any of the shows that I mentioned in this video, and you're looking for something slightly different within the genre. With that being said, I'm going to give Bofuri an 8.5 out of 10. I would love to have given this a 9. I would love to have given this a 10. I really would. But I don't feel quite comfortable giving it that, even though I do think it is something truly special that a lot of people need to check out. So let me know what you guys think about Bofuri in the comment section below. And if you enjoy listening to this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, hit the notification bell, all those things. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.